Good morning. Hello, everyone. If you are jumping on, let me know you're here, where you're watching from, and also hit that like button if you can actually hear me so that I know I'm on. Oh, I just ran up the stairs, so I'm a little out of breath. Anyways, if you're coming on, I'm just waiting for someone to join me so you can let me know that you can hear me. Last week, I had a little bit of a tech issue where I taped my whole video and nobody could hear me. I don't know what happened after I saw the video. It said something about internal error or something. So we're going to blame it on Facebook. But regardless, nobody could hear me last week. So if you're on and you can hear me, I see some people are coming on now. Just hit that like button so that I know you can hear me. Then I know we're ready to go. Can you hear me? Yes? No? Okay, we're going to just cross our fingers and hope that people can hear me. But if you're on here and you don't mind letting me know, that would be fabulous. Welcome to Cards and Coffee. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad that you've joined us. If you're here as a regular, welcome as well. Cards and Coffee is a time when we get together and we stamp quick and easy cards that are usually about 15 minutes or less. And some different ideas that you can stick into your tickle trunk that you can pull out at a later time. But I want to give you a little bit of, I guess, not a preview because this stuff is launched now, but a look at some of the new stamp sets. So today we're going to talk about amazing silhouettes. Now this one actually is not one of the ones I probably would have looked at first in the catalog, but I think it's kind of what we would call a hidden gem. It's something that has really grown on me. I actually got it for free as a demonstrator from an event that I attended, so I've had a chance to play with it quite a bit, and I'm really glad that I did. So today I am going to show you a really fun card using the amazing silhouettes. Now, another thing that we're going to use today are these gorgeous hand-penned Memories and More kit. Now, I love the Memories and More kit. You can get all sorts of different card kits with Stampin' Up. They have a few in the new mini. These ones are in the annual catalog. But what they are pre-made card bases. I have one already out. Pre-made card bases and coordinating envelopes. And so they are really great for quick and easy card making, or also for beginner card makers who may not have a lot of different supplies on hand, but just want the basics to get started or to try card making and see how you enjoy it. So I think this is a great option for all types of stampers, but especially for beginner stampers. Now, the one thing that I especially love about the hand-penned set here, what is this exactly called? The hand-penned Memories and More cards and envelopes. And you get in here 20 cards and 20 envelopes. So it's a great deal, and there's lots in here to get started with. Now, sorry, I will back up just one sec. The cards in this specific card set are slightly larger. So they are 6 inches by 4 inches. Let me just verify that. These cards are, it doesn't say, I believe they're 6 by 4 inches instead of the standard 5.5 by 4.25. So they're a slightly different size, but they come with the envelopes to fit them, and they still can go through the regular mail. Anyways, what I wanted to mention is what I love about this is that you can see all of these different colors that coordinate together. And you know how I love coordinating colors out of our designer series paper. So all of our pattern paper will have listed the colors that coordinate with it so that you can easily pull out the colors and make different cards using those colors without too much thought. So today we're going to do that. And the reason I mention that is because I would not have pulled together some of the colors that I pulled out of this paper without having looked at this paper first. So we are going to look at, this card base here is Pool Party. We are going to combine it with Cinnamon Cider and Garden Green. Now, like, am I right or not? I would not have pulled out these 3 colors to work together, but you are going to see how beautiful they look together. And there's a reason that I am not in control of designing all of the Stampin' Up paper and supplies, because I could not have envisioned this any better. The colors that they pulled together here are gorgeous. This is Pale Papaya, in case you're wondering, which is one of my absolute favorites. But we're not using it today. Shocker, right? Anyways, let's get started. So we have one of the card bases. we have a scrap of cinnamon cider. We have a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 5 by, let's just measure this for you, 5 by 2.25. 5 by 2.25. And then I also have, where are you? A piece of this gorgeous paper. Now look at that. Can you see that sparkle on there? Now, if you've been around here for a while, you know that I love me a little bit of bling. So this is a new product in our mini catalog. It's called Supple Shimmer Specialty Paper. And it comes in 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 2 in a package. So there's not a lot in a package, but what you get, because it is so bold and so sparkly, you don't need a lot on a project. So this goes a long way. So it comes with just these 2 colors. This one here that it looks like mint macaron, but sort of has kind of those blue-green tones and sort of goes, it kind of morphs into the color that it's by. So this will be for your green and blues, and this is what we're going to use today. And then you've got this pink, which I want to say is probably Flirty Flamingo. Don't quote me on that. But again, whichever pink you put it with, it's going to kind of pick up some of those tones and change a little bit. So anyways, you've got those 2 gorgeous colors there, and we're going to use some of that today for our project. Okay, let's set this aside and get started. Let's start with our white piece of paper and our stamping. So again, I'm using the Amazing Silhouette stamp set. I have pulled out of my kit the large tree. And so these are kind of reverse stamps in that it puts the, it shows you the negative. So you're seeing the background is a stamp and it leaves the white part, the middle, the image is actually left uninked and will show the color of the paper that comes through. So I do have another card made with this set that I've used a butterfly on that's up on my blog. So if you want to go check that out, it's www.sarahlynstamps.com. You can go over there, and it actually was a card that I made for a swap using the butterfly and showing you how to make faux ribbon. So go and take a peek at that. Okay, so we've got our garden green here, and I'm going to just tap, tap, tap. Sorry if I'm shaking you all here until we get a nice coat of ink on here. Now these are distinctive stamps, which means that they have a variety of depths of color. When you stamp it, you're going to get some that are darker and some that are lighter. The stamp is going to do all the work for you. So don't be shocked when you turn it over and you're like, oh, it doesn't look like it's fully inked. It is inked. It's just the distinctive stamp. So you're going to see you have some light and dark areas on there. Okay, I'm going to just, I don't know why, but with these big ones, I like to stamp sideways. So we're going to turn the paper here. I want to make sure that I'm in the camera. Oh, good. Thank you, Auntie Fern. I'm guessing if you're on that you can actually hear me. So I appreciate that you're here. Okay, so we've got our garden green. Hi, Auntie Pat. So funny, I've got Auntie Fern and Auntie Pat with me today. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. Anyways, we've got garden green. I've just stamped this here. The other stamping we're going to do is on our scrap of cinnamon cider. And you could use whichever colors you like. Whatever colors you want to coordinate together, just change these up and make them your own. So we've got cinnamon cider, and I'm going to use this stamp here. Thank you for inspiring me. Now, I don't want the for inspiring me part on there. I just want the thank you. So I'm going to do a little bit of masking here. I'm going to take a little bit of painter's tape. You could use, what's that other paper? You know, that yellow tape. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, use some kind of tape or paper or whatever you can just to cover up that part of the stamp. And so this is called masking. This is one form of masking. I'm going to stamp my image up here in the cinnamon cider. And then I'm going to remove this piece of tape, and there won't be any ink on the portion underneath. So when I go ahead and stamp this, I'm just left with the thank you and not with the for inspiring me part. So that's a really great way to make all of your sentiment sets kind of do double duty. If there's certain things that you don't like or ways that you want to change them up, they're yours. You absolutely can do that. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually just going to use my paper snips here. You could use your trimmer if you'd like to. I just think with sentiments, it's a lot easier to just cut it out with my scissors. So we're going to go like this. And on this end, don't think I want it quite that long. Maybe I do. We're going to actually put a little flag in here. So what we do is in the middle, we're going to cut a little slit. And then from one corner, we're going to cut up to the top of the slit. And then we're going to go from the other corner up to the top of the slit on the other side. And now when you pull that off, you've got yourself a little tail or a little banner there for your card. Just a nice, quick, easy way to update your sentiment here and add a little interest to your card. Now let's put our card together. So we have our already created card base, which I love because it's got sort of a multiple depths of color here. It looks almost watercolored on the background, and then it has the white polka dots over top. So it's got some really nice interest there for our card already. So that means we don't have a lot of work to do. We're going to add our piece of supple shimmer paper, and I'm just going to add this with Stampin' Seal. You could use liquid glue or whatever adhesive you have on hand. We're going to just put this kind of towards the top like this. And again, I want you to remember that when we make cards, it's really important to think about the layouts that we're using and how we can reuse these in multiple different ways, not just with this one stamp set. So in this case, we've added a square up here at the top. We're going to add a longer piece, and you could change this piece to be whatever size you needed to fit the image that you were using if you wanted to recreate this with another stamp set. We're going to add that along the side here. And again, I've just used our regular Stampin' Seal. And what I'm going to do now with the thank you is I'm going to actually pop these up on dimensionals. So you see that shimmer in that paper? Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals here on the back. And these are just foam adhesive, so they just kind of lift up our sentiment. And sometimes just these little touches that make all the difference. And so we're going to put this the right way on our card here, just kind of towards the bottom. And again, you could move this depending on the image that you're using and the card that you have that you're working with. Okay, so we've got thank you there. And the last thing I'm going to do today, I can't believe this card comes together so quickly. I almost feel like I'm ripping you off. But anyways, that's what happens when we have all of our supplies ready to go. These are the new iridescent rhinestone basic jewels out of the mini catalog. And I love them because, well, they're extra blingy. They have sort of, what do you call that? Like, you know, like when you get those diamonds and you look through and the colors go all different ways. There's a word for it and it's escaping me. But these ones sort of have in the hologram or whatever you want to call it, they have kind of pinks and peachy sort of colors and also some blues when you change them in the light. And I don't know how well you can see that, but they come in 3 different sizes. So there's small ones here, medium size, and large ones. And I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool, the putty end here, which helps me to pick up my embellishments. I've got some gold on here. And I'm going to just grab, I think, one of the middle ones, and I just kind of take my Take a Pick tool and put it towards the bottom of my embellishment to pick it up. And I'm going to take a couple of the small ones here. And we'll just stick one over here. We try to put in odd numbers is somehow pleasing to the eye. And again, sort of in a triangle shape. So we've got one here, and you can see how we're doing the triangle with three different embellishments. And that's that. Isn't that pretty? Pretty and simple, but see what I mean about the colors? Like I would have never picked cinnamon cider and garden green to go with my pool party, but this is just stunning. The colors are absolutely on point. Stampin' Up! Knows what they're doing, and they've got some talented artists. So thank you, Stampin' Up! You do all the work for us, but I hope you enjoyed this card. I'm going to put this up on my blog later today. I do have over on Instagram a couple cards that I showed today as well. Let me share them with you. They will be up on my blog as well soon. So again, these are 2 that went up on Instagram today that you'll find on my blog. And the point of these again is to show how you can take the same layout and recreate multiple cards. This was based off of layout in the new mini catalog on page 80. I replicated it with 2 different stamp sets, but you can see how the same stamp sets or the same layout, can be used with multiple stamp sets to make very different cards. And again, here, I want to encourage you to take this layout and remember it and reuse it to create different cards as well. So this Friday is the second episode of a beginner stamp class. And so last week there was a lot of information. It was much longer than I had intended, but we talked about stamps and how to stamp. We talked about blocks. We even got to re-ink our ink pads. So there was a lot of really great information in that video. It's over on my blog at www.saralynnstamps.com, as well as on YouTube. But this week we're going to talk about paper, how to cut our own paper, how to layer our cards, what sizes do we cut our paper to layer, and also talk about layout. So this is something that you hear me talk about all the time because I really think it makes such a huge difference just to have some of these awesome layouts already developed in your pocket, ready to go, because you can make cards in seconds just by replicating them over and over and over again. So we're going to talk about that a little bit on Friday as well. So it's not a live video on Friday. It's just a video that I upload to my blog. I will announce it here on Facebook so that you know that it's live. I hope to have it up by noon. Last week got a little way from me, so if you don't see it there right away, check back, but I will announce it here on Facebook. So watch for that on Friday as well. If you have any questions at all about this card, I have put the shopping links for you in the notes. But by all means, just send me a message anytime. If you have any questions or you want some help with color coordination or layout ideas, I am here. Like I said in last Friday's class, I am your sidekick for all things crafty. So contact me, hook me up with what's going on in your life. I love to see what you're making, so always feel free to send me a picture of your cards. Better yet, send me a card in the mail. If you don't have my address, message me and I'd be happy to share it with you. And I will send you one back. Happy stamping. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye. Thank you for joining me.